There were altogether 9 layers of the body refining tier. The first to third layers were usually called the early stage of body refining tier. Fourth to sixth levels were the middle stage, and seventh to ninth levels were the late stage. Martial artists from 3 different stages had a great disparity in their strength. And the higher the layer, the larger the disparity was. A martial artist at the ninth layer facing a martial artist at the 8th layer would have an overwhelming advantage. However, a martial artist at the first layer of body refining tier against a martial artist from the second layer would not be at such a large disadvantage. Previously, Ling Han seemed to be only 2 layers below Xuanhuan, but there was a major disparity of 1 stage between them. However, Ling Muyun was at the 7th layer of body refining tier and was of the late stage of body refining tier, higher than Ling Han by 2 stages. This was an unbreachable gap. Even if Ling Han had once been one of the strongest heaven tier warriors, he would still be unable to breach this huge difference in ability. After all, the base he had now was too low. So what to do? Ling Han's eyes grew serious, and taking advantage of the moment the other's palm was heading towards him, he suddenly raised his fist in an attack. Ling Muyun could not help showing an expression of ridicule. Although he didn't know how Ling Han managed to come here, he was a well-known piece of trash amongst the whole of Ling clan. What kind of threat could he be to himself? He circulated origin power, and his chest muscles hardened, becoming as dense as iron. So what if he received a hit from Ling Han? The important thing now was to restrict Ling Han and not allow him the chance to open his mouth. Sure enough, the corners of Ling Han's mouth curved in a slight smile. The other's reaction was completely within his expectations. "You're about to suffer this time." Pang! Because Ling Muyun did not make any move to dodge, this sudden punch hit its target solidly. Ling Muyun still looked disdainful as he extended his hand and placed it on Ling Han's shoulder. "Young brother Han, I'll send you back." He hadn't finished speaking before he spat out a mouthful of blood. This wasn't even the end. He felt his chest was boiling, as if he was about to throw up all his internal organs. He suddenly fell and sat down on the ground, his expression extremely ugly. Tang! 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 Ling Han retreated a total of 7 steps. He stopped once, his back met the wall behind him. What was this? Ling Han had used a special technique in that punch. Its name was Hill Separating Shock. It allowed power to pass through the opponent's defenses before exploding, which was why although Ling Muyun had used origin power to defend, Ling Han's power still managed to pass through his muscles and explode inside his body. Naturally, it became an extremely heavy blow to Ling Muyun. This was also thanks to the fact that Ling Muyun was at the 7th layer of body refining tier. Otherwise, he would have been seriously injured by this punch. Even death would not be an impossibility. To look down upon one of the strongest of the heaven tier warriors was to bring trouble onto oneself. Still, 7th layer of body refining tier was still 7th layer of body refining tier. The rebound of origin power was still far from what Ling Han could handle. Thus, he too had been jarred to the point that he staggered and retreated. Due to the shock of power, his right arm was suddenly dislocated. Ka! Ling Han did not even wrinkle his brow and used his left hand to twist his right arm back into position. It wasn't until that moment that Ling Xuanhuan and his group finally reacted. They were all angered and shocked. Their anger was because Ling Han had actually wounded Ling Muyun, while their shock was because they were wondering, how had this piece of trash managed to accomplish such a feat? Meanwhile, the few maidservants were even more dumbfounded. Was this still the young Master Han they knew? How could he be so fierce that, with one punch, he had injured young Master Muyun, who has always been known as a genius, to the point that the latter was throwing up blood? Little beast, how dare you be so ruthless? Ling Zhongquan immediately shouted. Muyun was only worried about you and wanted to send you back to your room. Yet you did something so ruthless. You crazy dog. He sure was sly, immediately making a verbal counterattack through false accusation. Ling Muyun too regained his breath. When his eyes fell upon Ling Han, they were filled with murder. He was the genius of the Ling clan, and yet he was actually injured by a piece of trash. How could his ego accept such a blow? Ling Han completely ignored the two and instead looked at Lu Yutong. You're sick. This! Xuanhuan was about to make a move, but when he heard these words, he forcefully held back. The other was a student from Huyang Academy, and Huyang Academy was established by the imperial family of Rain Country. Those who managed to enroll there would definitely have come from a strong, huge background and would be something that far exceed the background of a person at Element Gathering tier. However, Linghan actually said that the other was sick. Was he seeking death? Very good. Now implicate Ling Dongxing too. Chief Butler thought. Someone would do his dirty work for him, and he would be able to easily take the position of clan head. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Ling Dongxing. Ah, Ling Dongxing. You would never have thought that your son is not only a piece of trash, but also someone who will ruin you. When Lu Yutong looked at Ling Han, her eyes revealed slight disgust. She was born very beautiful and was also the princess of one of the 8 great clans of the imperial city, the Lu clan. The Lu clan was an existence that was only below the imperial family in status. And naturally, she did not lack any number of young men who tried to ingratiate themselves with her. Some would even try the opposite, pretending to be cold to attract her interest. She naturally thought that Ling Han was the same sort of pest, only that he was using the method of cursing her. This was the first time that she had encountered this tactic, but this did not give her any feeling of novelty, only disgust. How dare you? Ling Zhongquan was an observant man and shouted in a timely manner, "Kneel down quickly and apologize to Miss Lu." Ling Han gave a calm smile. "In this world, aside from my parents, I will kneel down to no one." Looking at Lu Yutong, he walked towards her. He stopped once he was about 3 steps away. That was because he knew this was the limit of the other's patience. If he went any closer, she would definitely take action. He didn't want to be hit one bit. "Since you were 10, have you been fainting every year for no reason?" "In the beginning, it was once a year, but it has become more and more frequent. At present, you should be fainting once every 10 days. Ling Han spoke with a lowered voice, only allowing Lu Yutong alone to hear his words. Lu Yutong's expression changed. This illness of hers was only known to a few select people, even in the Lu clan. How did Ling Han manage to find out about it? She couldn't refrain from once again sizing up Ling Han as she asked, "You know the reason?" "Naturally." Ling Han proudly nodded. Otherwise, he would not speak such shocking words. "It's 3 yin vanishing veins. It's a kind of curse from the gods. Those who possess the 3 yin vanishing veins would usually only be able to live until 20. That's because during your 20th year, you will once again fall unconscious, forever unable to regain consciousness." Lu Yutong was silent, but she believed Ling Han's words because after her symptoms became more and more serious, her family had brought her to visit many famous doctors. However, every doctor she visited could not do anything and didn't even know the name of the illness. Still, one of them deduced that she would faint more and more frequently, and one day, she would no longer wake up. Now, she had finally found out what illness she had, but what of it? All the famous doctors in Rain Country could not do anything, so she naturally would not think that Ling Han had any way to help. "I can heal you," Ling Han said at that very moment. Lu Yutong's heart trembled, but her face did not reveal anything. "If you can heal me, I can allow you to become a court official, or even let you have uncountable resources for cultivation." Ling Han mustered a smile. "There is only one way to heal the 3 yin vanishing veins, and that is to train in 3 yin mysterious arts, and it just so happens that I know this art. I can teach you, but there is one condition. You have to become my follower." Lu Yutong could not restrain anger in her heart. She was the princess of the Liu clan, and was also a genius in martial arts. At the age of 17, she had already reached the 8th layer of Element Gathering tier. And now a puny little martial artist at 2nd layer of Body Refining tier actually wanted to take her in as a follower? Where did he get his confidence and boldness from? "Don't feel wronged, because I can give you a wider horizon. I can let you rise to a higher level in martial arts. The 7 great vanishing lands, the 4 great dead valleys, the 3 great bottomless oceans, have you seen them before?" Ling Han's sweet temptation followed. Although the 3 yin vanishing veins were a curse in nature, there was always hope in every situation. Their owner would also usually possess a heaven-grade spirit base. Once trained in 3 yin mysterious arts, the owner would naturally soar. Lu Yutong could not stop eagerness from rising within her heart. She had a passionate desire to pursue martial arts, and it was the focus of everything in her life.